Hi, I'm Claude.
And I'm Clinton, and we're the Lamest Defenders. On this week's WandaVision, they have their Halloween-themed episode, so let's get spoopy. Hiya, Thanos. We're the Lamest Defenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com.
Welcome back, everyone. So this is the 6th episode of WandaVision, and first things first, there's a new, I guess, little timeline here. It's the 90s. So it opens up with one of my favorite shows of all time, Malcolm in the Middle. Kind of plays on that intro, but out of all the intros I've done, I hated this one the most.
It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
The song was basically referencing, it was very self-aware, and it said something like, just sit back and enjoy the show. Like, don't question anything still.
Like, I could have tried a little bit harder for this one,
but still, they have to come up with I don't know how many episodes are going to be like this, so
right.
That's kind of tough.
Oh, yeah, it's so minor compared to everything else, but just... I don't know.
Last week, the Family Ties one was the best so far.
Oh, for sure.
Was so funny.
Yeah.
But, so the episode opens up. It is Halloween, or the day of, the morning of, I guess.
Yeah.
And, no, it's the afternoon. I'm sorry. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I forget because Quicksilver's asleep on the couch.
Just got done with a bong rip. He's taking a little nappy.
So Evan Peters as Quicksilver in this is very dude bro.
Yeah.
It's a little grating, honestly. It's kind of
just just to add on to that, like, it really factors in kind of like the loser mentality that he had from the Fox movies too, because he was living in his parents' basement and he kind of had that slacker type persona too. So I think that maybe they carried that over just a little bit for this one.
It seemed a bit extreme as well. I don't know. I don't remember. Granted, he wasn't in the X-Men movies that much,
right? And
the parts he was in, it was all him doing his little slow speed, super fast, slow montage.
Right.
So it cuts to Wanda coming down the stairs, and it's her in her classic costume.
Yeah.
And
and
then what do they say? Like
Sokovian
fortune teller? Yeah, she said, I'm a Sokovian fortune teller. Like, that is one get up for her.
Quite the country.
And then Vision is just Vision, which was my favorite bit of the whole episode. That was great.
It's just he's got the all-stars and they're like yellow, and it's just like
yellow gym shorts. And like some corny diamond thing just flapping in the wind.
It's like that one rapper that just got like a gem embedded in his head. But it just, in terms of the plot, like, Wanda wants to take the kids out, for trick-or-treating, and then Vision's like, well, I got the neighborhood watch thing. I got some other things to do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, like, she let him get away with it.
I think it was referenced in, the second episode? Yeah. I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm surprised Vision still has a job.
So I guess, like, she's obviously pissy because, like, she wants to take the kids out, and then Quicksilver's like, I'll be their father figure for this.
Yeah, it's like, hey, cool Uncle Peter. Like, I got it. It's fine. So everybody goes out trick-or-treating. Oh, but Quicksilver is dressed as classic Quicksilver.
Yeah, with the blue and the hair is like
crazy
mine.
hair. Not that extreme.
Yeah, that's true. Just wakes up and just rolls.
But it was weird because I was having problems with this because he actually has super speed. I assumed it was just some New York guy, some Jersey guy that she just said, "Oh, you kind of look like Pietro, so you were now Pietro."
I don't know.
It's actually him. He's
I kind of figured, I figured it was just straight up Quicksilver the entire time. Maybe it's like a filter where he's like combined with the actual MCU one. It's a little bit weird how they're doing it because, later, spoilers, it's a spoiler review, they show him dead with the bullet holes from that Age of Ultron scene.
That was so jarring. I thought, wait, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And they actually show, there's a clip, they play a clip from Ultron prior to that, which shows him just getting shot. So it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
So then later in the episode, it does exactly what it was doing in the last couple episodes, where it splice, shield scene or sword scenes with, basically with the Westview stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, Wu, Monica, and unfortunately Darcy are all part of this, and it's just them, I don't know, just starting a lot of crap. I guess we can kind of just go into their whole plan since we're already here. Is basically they're trying to find out, well, they sneak back onto the sword base. It's basically a stealth mission. So they like sneak in there, and then for whatever reason, Darcy is now like an expert hacker, which is like, it's awful. Like there was so many like 90 hacker man cliches the entire time, and it reminded me of I'm sorry, but I hated Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the very first episode, the pilot, it's like Quake, like she's this computer hacker thing, and it just was so cringy just because it was like every cliche, and it's exactly what happened here with Darcy, where she's looking at the computer and she's like, oh, I need to find the gigabits in the matrix, and look at this line of code, unacceptable, and it's just like, all right,
what was so funny was that it was like all of a sudden I could let it slide that she had a PhD in astrophysics. Not very well. I could let that slide, but now she's also an IT government security programs expert. On top of that, biology expert as well.
NSA.
So she was telling Monica, she hacked enough into the files that she saw that Monica's cells are being hexed and they're being rewritten.
Yeah, it was like the frog DNA with the dino DNA from Jurassic Park. I was like, so like you're saying, it was stupid.
It is just like there's too many hats. You're trying to put 3 people into one. This is really absurd. Why couldn't Monica be the computer expert? I don't know, something.
It'd make more sense.
Yeah, there's no way Darcy knows how to do all of this in the span of 5 years.
Right.
It's so stupid. I don't really think I don't know. This should have been a different character. This should have been the Swedish guy, Selvig.
Yeah.
But maybe the actor Stellar Skarsgård, he was a little busy, so it's just like, what are you gonna do?
And I do obviously all the Darcy crap I hate, but I like the idea of Monica's DNA getting kind of messed with. That's basically I assume is going to be the catalyst for her powers for the MCU. They go back into it shows like Vision, Wanda's point of view, like trick-or-treating and stuff, all the hijinks. And then you have Vision by his lonesome, just basically investigating the town. Because I guess on the outskirts, so
Ellis
Darcy,
Drive. Can't go past Ellis Drive.
Darcy and them discovered that there's a lot of people just not moving.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like a glitch or something. And so he's like, what the hell? And it kind of gets like spooky or whatever, fits with the Halloween theme. And then he sees Agnes, who's also stuck. So he's like, boop. He gives her the 2-finger punch to the head. And she basically says
a hard reset.
She basically, she awakens and she's like, Wanda won't even let us think about escaping. Like, it's impossible to get out of here. So Vision at that point is, what the hell? So he resets Agnes and then she goes on her way.
Yeah, she actually, before that, she asked him if she was dead.
Yeah.
And he said, no, why would you say that? It's like, because you are.
Yeah.
And then she said dead. She said dead like 4 times, which is kind of funny, honestly.
But she glitched it out again.
Yeah, and then, so after that, he decides he wants to try to leave the bubble. And he's basically just being torn apart.
Yeah.
As he's trying to do so, which I'm assuming that's because he is directly hexed. So he can't leave the bubble. He literally cannot. If he does, he will just die.
Yeah, I guess my take on that is, he's truly dead, and if he leaves the hex, he will die because he's dead. Yeah. So I'm hoping the payoff at the end of this is Vision is he can actually leave the bubble and he's like free of it. Maybe it's the all-white Vision or something that you see in the comics. I think cool. I think that'd be interesting.
I'm kind of rooting for him escaping the bubble and just falling over.
Yeah.
It just goes gray, a hole in his head, and just oops. That would be really funny to me.
I guess just to kind of fast forward this too is like you go back to Wanda and the kids. So basically, the 2 kids get their powers.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Speed is running around stealing candy,
freaky fast like Jimmy John's just running around. And then obviously you have Wiccan now, and then he's the one that senses Vision is like basically
being
about
in pain.
Yeah,
and he sees Vision being torn apart, and then he sees soldiers as well.
Yeah.
Converging on his area, so it's and all of a sudden that's when Wanda kicks in her.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to call this. She expands the bubble.
Yeah, gets the pink eye back, and then
I mean, almost looks like with no effort. Just is like okay, just expands it by
just farting.
What, like a half a mile or something like that? Like it was insane the distance. So it covers up all the sword materials. It turns their little command center into a circus. It turns all the soldiers into clowns, which was actually pretty funny. And it turns like the cars into like hot dog event, like food trucks and that kind of stuff. And
the time period for
time period accurate.
So I mean, overall, this episode, I mean, it's continuing the plot, and it's fine for what it is. But for me, I mean, I just there wasn't obviously any big surprises. Each episode doesn't need one, but it just felt like, I don't know, like it just, the plot's going forward, and that's basically all the episode was for me. There wasn't anything that really stood out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Westview stuff a lot more. The sword segment was a massive letdown for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was so bummed by it. But the Westview was phenomenal. Like I actually thought the episode was carried pretty well on that.
Yeah.
Just with the interactions. And then Quicksilver calling she said, "What are you so worried about Vision for? It's not like your dead husband could die twice." And then she like
blasts him.
Yeah, Force pushes him away. So yeah, that was pretty interesting.
I will say the only thing with this is there's a recurring theme with Monica just talking about her friend. Like, who is her friend coming to help her?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation. It's Reed Richards. I personally don't think it is.
I don't think so either.
I think it's too early for him, especially with Fantastic Four being a couple years away. I mean, it could be, who knows? But there's also a scene where she was a kid in Captain Marvel, that Oscar-nominated movie, and she interacts with another Skrull kid. So, I mean, who knows? It could be him. I don't know. All right. Well, I guess out of 10, I mean, this episode was okay for me. I'm giving it a 6.8 out of 10.
I'm actually going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 mainly because only because of the Westview stuff. Like, I really enjoyed the Wanda and Vision section of this week. Like, I thought it was fantastic. But man, the sword stuff brought it down at least a point.
Well, hopefully next week we'll get better with episode 7. So it should be a nice little train ride to that, because a lot of action is promised. So we'll see. Well, we'll catch you guys next week for that one. Stay lame.
Thanks.